What's up, Internet? JD Nitro here, and this is a new series called Things That Drive Me Nuts, where I talk about things that drive me nuts. And I don't mean things that annoy me just a wee little bit. No, I mean things that drive me insane, things that make me just want to tear my hair out. And today we're talking about gluten-free labels on food items. But first, let me take a moment and explain what gluten is. Gluten is a protein found in wheat. So things made from flour have gluten in them. Things like bread, crackers, pasta, etc., have gluten. Now, some people have a medical condition called celiac disease, which, long story short, their bodies can't handle gluten. They have to avoid it altogether. And then you have some people who don't have celiac disease, but their bodies are still very sensitive to gluten. Case in point, I have a cousin who doesn't have celiac disease, but is allergic to gluten. He can't have it. So companies started making gluten-free foods, gluten-free bread, gluten-free pasta, so on and so forth. And that's great for people who can't have gluten. But in recent years, the words gluten-free have become a clever marketing ploy. They've become a buzzword that companies use to push their product. Why is this a big deal? Because we have companies saying that products are gluten-free and the products never contain gluten to start with. Case in point, Skippy peanut butter, manufactured by Hormel Foods. Now, this is their natural honey peanut butter, which I happen to enjoy quite a bit. And unlike other companies who love to put gluten-free right up front, they're a little more discreet about it. They put it on the back, just above the barcode. There you go, gluten-free right there. There's a problem with that, a big problem. Peanut butter doesn't contain wheat, therefore it doesn't contain gluten. Let me put my glasses on and I will read the ingredients list. Ingredients: roasted peanuts, palm oil, peanut oil, salt, sugar, and honey. There's nothing wrong with any of those ingredients. All those things combine to make some good peanut butter. However, none of those ingredients contain gluten. Now, you can make the argument, well, then it is gluten-free. Technically, yes, it is. However, to say that Skippy peanut butter is gluten-free, it raises the question in the mind, well, does that mean it had gluten in it before? What happened there? I called Hormel Foods. I called the 1-800 number here, and the wait time was pretty short, about 30 seconds or so, and I spoke to a very nice lady who explained to me that it's pretty much marketing. They put it on there as a marketing tool. There's something very wrong with that. If a food doesn't have gluten, peanut butter naturally doesn't have gluten, it's not necessary to put gluten-free, whereas something like bread contains gluten because bread is made with flour, which comes from wheat. So if a company produced a special bread that was gluten-free, that's something that you want to put right up front so people know, hey, this is gluten-free. Otherwise, if a company makes something like peanut butter, which doesn't have gluten, you don't need to put gluten-free on the label. Let me give you another example. Silk brand soy milk. Now, nothing wrong with Silk. It tastes pretty good. They're a little more upfront about it. They put it right up here. No artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, all right? No lactose, no dairy, no gluten. There's a problem right there. First up, this is soy milk. You don't need to say that it doesn't have any lactose in it. A little common sense tells you that you don't get lactose from soy milk. But in regards to the gluten-free, again, soy milk. It's made from soybeans. There's no wheat in this. Let's look at the ingredients list. Soy milk, filtered water, corn sugar, vitamins and minerals. It has vitamin B2, vitamin D2, vitamin B12, sea salt, and natural flavors. Again, nothing wrong with that ingredients list, except for the fact it clearly doesn't have any wheat, which means it is in fact gluten-free. You don't need to put gluten-free on a food item that naturally doesn't have gluten. I mean, to put this into perspective, putting gluten-free on soy milk is the equivalent of putting chlorine-free. Who puts chlorine in soy milk? That's not something that's naturally there. So why put chlorine-free? I mean, there's an ad for you. Drink Silk brand soy milk. It's lactose-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, chlorine-free, and certified asbestos-free. What? No, that's stupid. You don't need to put gluten-free on a food item that isn't made from wheat. If it's not made from wheat, it doesn't contain any gluten. This is something that drives me nuts because I see this as false, deceptive, or at the very least misleading advertising. To see gluten-free on Silk brand soy milk, it makes you think, well, wait, does that mean other brands of soy milk contain gluten? Now, I'm sure some of you are going to say, well, JD, that's the point. It's a marketing tool. In that lies the problem. Granted, there are some people who genuinely can't ingest things that contain gluten, and it's important to have gluten-free options. So gluten-free bread, pasta, crackers, cakes, this makes sense. But to use the words gluten-free on food packaging for items that don't contain gluten, it's taking advantage of a situation where you have people who are looking for gluten-free foods. And this is something that just drives me insane. And I'm curious, does it bother any of you? Leave your comments down below, because I am JD Nitro. Liking, commenting, and subscribing is the official order for doing things. Thanks for watching. I'm out.